Hey yo, what's the word with my people who keep this channel running, the Chico Army, and any newbie also known as a viewer of the tube? First, I'm the host of this channel, Tyler, and you just set your eyes on the crypto channel that gets your eyes focused on the content, and then pure chaos ensues. I fell into a burning ring of fire. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, it is here, the pump for what has been dragging behind. Bitcoin pulling out the 7-day chart. It's good to see we have broken out of the 9,200 resistance level, as that support was broke last week. And a resistance break attempt happened on Sunday, although we got rejected then. So good to see this pump on that time scale, 7 days, it's a bullish chart. But pulling out the chart since the end of May, when we entered the 9K to 10K range, that chart isn't so bullish, with a series of lower highs. Around June 1st, we peaked just above 10K. Then by June 10th, 9,875. June 22nd, 9,675. And then July 8th, 9,430. So the important number to break in the short term is the last lower high of 9,430. Not breaking that within the next day or two won't be a good sign, but smashing through it will be pretty good, but we still have a long way to go up to 10K. So is it time for us to focus on Granddaddy BTC, or is the theme still the same? Altcoins are providing bigger gains. Well, going to CoinGecko and sorting by the top gainers over the past 24 hours, as of yesterday, we can see that yes, altcoins are still performing better, with 23 alts above Bitcoin in 24-hour percentage gains. But here's the thing I noticed, you guys. Many of those top gainers yesterday over 24 hours were a large majority shat coins, which makes me believe we are getting to the end of a cycle. Why? Not many people are diehard investors of Tron, Steam Fork, Hive, Bitcoin Gold, the Exchange token. Shoot, even Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin are pumping more than BTC yesterday. Shoot, even the crappy guys behind the Chainlink FUD, Nexo, are pumping more than BTC. That to me signals whale bag holders are pumping to get eyes on their coins, to extract what they can out of the markets while they still can during this altcoin cycle. And the crypto YouTubers are starting to shill altcoin after altcoin, new coin after new coin, week after week, which I could do too, and many in the community have asked me to do. And I'm sure in this video's comments, I get many people asking me to talk about X or Y coin, but I'm not gonna do that, as if you have hopefully noticed anything about this channel, we stick to what we have already covered, as there is a reason I covered it. I like what the protocol is doing and believe in it. So ran over, let's dive into the coin I want to talk about today, and I believe it's going to surge through the second half of 2020. That is energyweb token and their suite of products, which I have been extensively covering for the past couple of months, including the D3A, EWT chain, big partners and their validators, and more. All of those videos are in the description if you want to check them out. But what could be next for energyweb? Well, we know some of the big powerhouse energy names they are already connected to, like Shell and Tenaska in the West, multiple European powerhouses like Stedin, Engie, Elia Group, and EDF, Electricity of France. But then they have the East too, with Singapore's SP Group and Japan's TEPCO, plus many others. But there is not one on that community-made GIF. It's awesome, thanks to Kobar. And the one I want to talk about is NV Energy, another Western powerhouse energy company, which from the NV in the name you can tell it's focused on the state of Nevada. And I could tease you and lead you around who is the owner of this energy company, but let's just get it out of the way right now. Berkshire Hathaway is, and it's under Berkshire Energy, which means the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, is behind this energy company. So how does this connect to energyweb? Well, first we gotta learn that old Buffy boy is going green with solar. Barron's covered it in an article titled Warren Buffett is making a big bet on solar power. And from the article, Berkshire subsidiary NV Energy will be using the electricity generated by a 690 megawatt solar energy plant to be built on federal land in Nevada. The current record for a solar plant is 579 megawatts. On Monday, the Bureau of Land Management released an environmental impact statement about the project, indicating that it would approve the project after a 90-day period for public comment. But it didn't stop there. They got approved for another 2 separate energy plants, totaling another 500 megawatts, bringing total power to nearly 1,200 megawatts and 590 megawatts energy storage. This was called NV Energy's Integrated Resource Plan. And as we can see, it includes 3 solar plants: the Arrow Canyon Solar Project, Southern Bighorn Solar and Storage Project, and the big 690 watt one is called the Gemini Solar and Battery Storage Project. So yeah, Buffy Boy is betting on solar and green energy. And the big one is getting ready to go live, Gemini, as just in May of this year, the Trump administration gave it the green light, a $1 billion project. So there is big energy stuff going down in the desert. And here's where energyweb comes in. News Data LLC covered it in an article titled NV Energy Pilot Project to Use Blockchain Technology. And the article states, NV Energy, the energyweb Foundation, and Spark's Nevada-based blockchains on July 15th filed an update to the Public Utilities Commission of Nevada, PUCN, regarding a pilot project that would leverage blockchain technology to track portfolio energy credits, PECs. PECs allow renewable energy producers to earn and sell credits to regulated utilities and are tracked and traded through PUCN's PEC trading program. Energyweb's got Buffett, and I got the actual document filed from docket 18-09008, submitted on July 7th, 2020. The docket states, this proposal was opened all the way back in September of 2018 to determine whether providers of electric service should be authorized to utilize alternative solutions, including but not limited to blockchain-based solutions to track and certify Nevada portfolio energy credits, the PECs. Comments were then filed on April 15th, 2019, and an actual workshop occurred on May 16th, 2019. Then letters were filed by all in September 2019, and the next steps June 4th, 2020, and here we are today. So what is the proof of concept? Well, Nevada Energy explained it in this separate document filed July 15th. It says the proposed POC pilot plan is to utilize blockchain-enabled smart meters to automatically and securely record generated PEC data to an energyweb chain. Through the use of smart contracts and integrated software, the POC pilot will utilize blockchain-enabled smart meters and the generation of PECs to prove the origin and amount generated, and to issue digital PECs, Nevada Portfolio Energy Credits. So yes, they are doing something big with energyweb chain, and there are some keywords in this statement from NV Energy we need to pay attention to. Smart meter, to automatically and securely record generated PEC data to an energyweb chain to prove the origin and amount generated. Smart meter origin. Well, some of you guys know I've already covered this. Energyweb and Ledger, yeah, those who make the Ledger Nano and Nano X and more are creating something together. It's on Ledger's website, Ledger Origin, and that's a secure hardware element for recording data from physical devices onto blockchains. And we can see from the website, energy is one of the sectors they are focusing on, with one of energyweb's big partners, Engie. And then going to Engie's website in a blog post about the project called Teo, the energy origin, it says data is also encrypted, where it's gathered before being transmitted for storage, preventing it from being altered by anyone who intercepts it. This is closely related to the technology in Ledger's cryptocurrency wallets, which store private codes to protect access to a user's digital currency. That energy data is then transmitted and recorded on the energyweb chain. Which makes total sense because Teo, the energy origin from Engie, is the first application on the chain, as seen here. So, smart meter and origin, check and mate. As one of the suite of tools powering this is EW Origin's SDK, which is the developer tool that can issue energy certificates. From a blog post on the topic, energy attribute certificates, EACs, are used to prove that renewables such as solar, wind, or hydro have generated a specific volume of electricity in a certain place at a certain time. Now, going back to what Nevada Energy said, the POC pilot will utilize blockchain-enabled smart meters and the generation of PECs to prove the origin and amount generated. And that is just a tip of the iceberg. What I want to finish this episode off with today is getting under the iceberg, because energyweb is going to transform the energy industry across the world. But let's show today why here in the United States. So, have you ever heard of solar renewable energy certificates, SRECs? Well, these are market-based instruments that represent the property rights to solar electricity generation and are created for each megawatt hour of electricity generated from solar energy systems. And that means there is a tradable market for these certificates, of which the National Renewable Energy Laboratory covered in a research paper titled Solar Renewable Energy Certificate Market, Status and Trends. And they show the SREC markets have early stage implementations in 10 jurisdictions, with 17 having RPS solar carve-outs. RPS, what is that? Well, that is the Renewable Portfolio Standards, which says electricity suppliers in their portfolios must have and purchase a certain amount of SRECs to ensure that they are getting their power from a mandated percentage of renewable sources. Now, the EPA gave us a good background on RECs and RPS, but the thing we are interested in is the markets trading them. From the document on verification and tracking systems, it says 5 regional-based web tracking systems cover most of the US, and one of the biggest is PJM EIS's Generation Attributes Tracking System, GATS. Who is PJM EIS? Well, it's the tech wing of PJM and the PJM interconnection, the grid operators for all of those states. And who do you think is partnered together? Well, energyweb and PJM. energyweb Foundation and PJM EIS announced collaboration to build and evaluate blockchain-based tool for a major US renewable energy certificates market. In the blog, it states they announced a landmark collaboration focused on developing and testing a market-wide reference implementation of energyweb Origin for the Generation Attribute Tracking System, GATS, administered by PJM EIS. The collaboration will focus on the PJM region of the GATS market and aims to develop, test, and make available a full implementation of the blockchain-based EW Origin toolkit, which PJM has a nice little infographic on their advanced technology, and they specifically mentioned blockchain, the pilot, and energyweb. So this kind of stuff gets me excited. SRECs, they will be tokenized and they will be tradable through the energyweb chain. And when you see things like this, Tesla filing with SEC and having Tesla regulatory credits, which the section says many US states have also adopted procurement requirements for renewable energy production. These requirements enable companies deploying solar energy to earn tradable credits known as Solar Renewable Energy Certificates, SRECs. Then in that filing, they have a specific section called Regulation Mandated Renewable Capacity, in which they explain SRECs, RPS, which you see why they did that. The growth of them selling these is exploding, $594 million in revenue from it in 2019 alone. And guess who joined PJM as an associate member? Well, going to PJM's member list and going to the T's, there is Tesla. Well, I hope all these connections are getting clearer, because things are going to pick up fast with EWT once people pick on what they are doing and with who. I hope you understand. Cheers, I'll see you next time.